Hey everyone, welcome back to The Fame, your go-to source for all the latest tea on the Duggar family. We've got a lot to unpack today, so let's dive right in. First up, we're breaking down the latest sighting of newlyweds Jana Duggar and Stephen Wissmann at the infamous Duggar family home. The big house. Fans are buzzing with snarky comments, and we're here to spill all the details about their visit, what it could mean, and why it's causing such a stir. Next, we're diving into a trending topic that's got people talking: Jessa Duggar's transformation. Once hailed as the prettiest Duggar, fans are noticing her growing resemblance to her dad, Bob Duggar. But what's behind this shift in her appearance? Could it be genetics, motherhood, or something else? We're breaking it all down. In our next segment, we'll explore a fan-favorite question: how do the Duggar boys keep landing incredibly beautiful wives? From Katey and Kendra to Abbie, these women have married into the Duggar clan, leaving many fans wondering, are these guys love bombers, or is there something deeper going on? We've got all the tea. And lastly, we're diving into an emotional update from Jessa Duggar as she shares a heartbreaking milestone. It's been 6 months since she and her husband Dillard lost their daughter Isla Marie. We'll talk about how Jill has been coping, the heartfelt tribute she paid to Isla, and the touching gesture from her sister Ginger that's bringing a bit of light to a difficult time. So grab your tea, settle in, and let's get started. So Jana Duggar and Stephen Wissmann, the couple who tied the knot last month, were spotted hanging out at the Duggar family's massive Arkansas home, sparking a flood of comments online. Some fans are speculating that the couple is either visiting the family or, even more surprising, potentially settling into life back at the big house. For those of you unfamiliar with the Duggar family dynamics, Jana spent years living with her parents, Bob, and Michelle, acting as the family's unofficial nanny and household manager. Now, with her marriage to Stephen, many thought she had finally broken free of her family's stronghold. But seeing her back at the house has left fans with some burning questions. Are they just visiting, or is Jana falling back into the Duggar fold? Comments online range from fans noticing Jana looking unusually happy, even smug, as some have described, to speculations about what's really going through Stephen's mind. One fan joked, "Stephen's probably thinking, get me out of here," while others noticed how he looks dead behind the eyes, possibly overwhelmed by the reality of becoming a Duggar in-law. Others took a playful approach, comparing Stephen's expression to that of family member Jeremiah Duggar during one of Bob's infamous barbecue tuna sandwiches. One fan even joked, "Stephen can't leave until he finishes it." Talk about a nightmare scenario. Despite the humor, there are real concerns from some fans who wonder if Jana might be getting pulled back into the very life she was thought to have left behind. Several users mentioned the possibility that this photo was from before the wedding, during their courting phase, making people question the timing of their big house hangout. However, others were quick to point out that Jana and Stephen are reportedly planning to settle in Nebraska, far from the reach of Bob's rule. Fans were also critical of the photo's aesthetic, with one person commenting on the house's dated window shades and odd door choices, while others couldn't help but notice Jana's backward cap, which one fan playfully said gave off high school vibes. A more hilarious observation even likened her look to Drew Lachey of 98 Degrees. And of course, the internet couldn't help but dissect Jana's expression in the photo, with some calling it smug, while others think she looks genuinely happy, a rare sight for fans who are used to seeing Jana more subdued. Could this be a sign that married life has given her a sense of freedom? Or is this the look of someone relieved to finally meet her family's long-standing expectations of finding a husband? So, what do you think? Is this just a nostalgic trip back to the Duggar family home, or could Jana be getting sucked back into the life she tried to leave behind? We'd love to hear your thoughts on what's really going on with Jana and Stephen, and of course, let us know what you think of Stephen's dead behind the eyes look. Next, we're diving into a trending topic that has fans buzzing: Jessa Duggar's transformation over the years. Once considered by many as the prettiest Duggar, fans are now noticing her uncanny resemblance to her father, Bob Duggar. But what's really behind this shift in her appearance? Is it just genetics, motherhood, or something more? Let's break it all down. Jessa Duggar, the third-born daughter in the famous Duggar family, was once widely regarded as the prettiest among her sisters. However, fans are now saying she looks more like a carbon copy of her father, Bob Duggar. Comments on social media have been quick to point out her similarities to both Bob and her brother John David. Some fans are even joking, saying that Jessa has morphed into the prettiest Bob Duggar. One fan commented, "She peaked early," while another remarked on how Jessa and her eldest son son Spurgeon are the spitting image of Jim Bob. It's clear that genetics have a big role to play, but some believe that her changing appearance is also a result of the demands of motherhood. With 5 children and a husband who some fans humorously describe as a man-child, it's no wonder Jessa looks more worn out these days. Many fans are sympathetic, noting that Jessa's appearance has changed due to the toll that raising multiple young children can take, along with the physical changes that come from having so many pregnancies. "She's still pretty," one commenter said, "just tired looking." Others agree, pointing out that she's dealing with the exhaustion of having 5 kids, which is bound to impact how you age. "She hasn't had a full night of sleep in years," one fan wrote, defending her current look. Another hot topic in the discussion is Jessa's hairstyle. While her hair is often admired for being thick and long, some fans are suggesting that a cut would do wonders for her. "She needs to cut her hair. A few inches off in some face-framing layers would make such a difference," one commenter advised. Others pointed out how her current hairstyle, described humorously as interlocking loops of hair, confuses fans, with many wondering how it even exists. On the flip side, there are those who believe Jessa looks great, especially for a mom of 5 who is likely juggling endless responsibilities. Some even compared her favorably to her mother Michelle at the same stage in life, with one fan saying, "Jessa looks better than Michelle did 5 kids in." But let's not forget, aging is a natural process, and many fans think it's normal for Jessa to look different from her younger years. One thoughtful comment reads, "She's aged like anyone would, without cosmetic enhancements, and after having 5 kids, which ages you fast." Another pointed out that Jessa's beauty has always been more than skin deep, saying, "Maybe it's just that as we get older, the outer beauty can no longer mask the inner ugly as well." Finally, while some are quick to criticize her weight or speculate that she's pregnant again, others rush to her defense, reminding people that post-pregnancy bodies are normal. "She just looks like she's gained a little weight, probably from baby number 5. It happens." Jessa Duggar is still admired by many for her strength and beauty, both inside and out. Whether she's looking more like Jim Bob or just a tired mom of 5, it's clear that her journey as a parent and partner is a major part of her life. But what do you all think? Has Jessas transformation surprised you, or is this just the reality of aging and raising a big family? Next hot topic is all about the Duggar boys and their surprising ability to attract incredibly beautiful wives. From Katey Duggar to Kendra and Abbie, we've seen these women marry into the Duggar family, and many fans are left wondering, how do these average-looking guys pull it off? Are the Duggar boys love bombers, or is there something else going on here? Let's break it down. The Duggar men aren't exactly known for their charm or riz, as some might call it. Yet we see these young women, often glowing and radiant, looking at their husbands with adoration. How does that happen, especially when the Duggar boys don't seem to have the charisma or looks to match? For many, the answer lies in the upbringing of the Duggar wives. These women are raised in ultra-conservative environments where their only purpose is often framed as being a submissive wife and mother. They grow up isolated from the outside world, rarely interacting with men outside of their fundamentalist circles. By the time a Duggar boy shows even the smallest amount of attention or affection, it feels like a breath of fresh air. In their world, a simple kind word, a smile, or even a crumb of emotional validation feels monumental. Some argue that these women are love-bombed, a term that refers to overwhelming someone with affection in the early stages of a relationship. The Duggar might not even be doing this intentionally, but in the strict, isolated environment they live in, small gestures are amplified. For many of these women, like Lauren Swanson and Kendra Caldwell, their options are limited. The choices of Christian men in their circle are few, and marrying a Duggar brings a mix of status, security, and fame. And let's not forget the importance of fame here. The Duggar are household names, and for women in their world, marrying a Duggar is akin to marrying royalty. Fame and recognition might play a role in why these women seem so smitten. It's not just the man they're marrying, it's the Duggar name and all that comes with it. On the flip side, there's the social conditioning of these women to believe that men, no matter their faults, are God's gift to them. They're raised to believe that their purpose is to support their husbands, love them unconditionally, and have as many children as possible. The adoring gaze we see might be less about genuine attraction and more about fulfilling the role they've been taught their entire lives. To them, this is love, as they were raised to think that youthful infatuation or those grand gestures in courtship are what love is all about. Interestingly, some fans believe that the Duggar boys are just beneficiaries of their wives' low expectations. These women come from homes where their fathers barely help around the house, and the Duggar boys, with their slightly more modern behavior, like sweeping crumbs, seem like a step up. Even if their husbands aren't particularly charming, they may be doing just enough to seem more appealing than the men these women grew up around. However, not all Duggar couples fit this mold. Take Jill Duggar and Derek Dillard, for example. Many fans believe their relationship evolved from initial infatuation into genuine love. Unlike some of her siblings, Jill has distanced herself from the strict Duggar upbringing, and her marriage seems to have more depth compared to others. They've faced struggles together and have built a life that seems more balanced. So what's the verdict? Are the Duggar boys love bombers, or are these women just conditioned to see them through rose-colored glasses? It's a little bit of both. The Duggar men might not have the looks or charm, but in the sheltered world of fundamentalism, they offer something more valuable: attention, affection, and an escape from the only life these women have known. Whether it's love bombing or low expectations, these marriages are built on a mix of religious beliefs, cultural conditioning, and a bit of Duggar fame. What do you think? Are the Duggar boys pulling off some secret charm, or are their wives simply seeing what they've been taught to expect? Finally, we're diving into a deeply emotional story from Jill Duggar as she shares a heartbreaking milestone in her journey of grief. It's been 6 months since Jill and her husband, Derek Dillard, suffered the tragic loss of their daughter, Isla Marie. We'll talk about how Jill has been coping, the touching tribute she paid to Isla, and the sweet, thoughtful gesture from her sister Ginger Duggar that brought a little light to a tough day. Stay tuned for all the details. Jill Duggar has always been open with her followers about the highs and lows of her life, and recently she shared a poignant moment marking 6 months since the loss of her daughter, Isla Marie Dillard. For those who may not know, Jill tragically lost Isla during her second trimester earlier this year. She and Derek were beyond devastated when they learned their baby girl had passed away in the womb, and the grief they've faced since has been overwhelming. On this difficult 6-month milestone, Jill took to Instagram to reflect on the loss. In a heartfelt post, she shared photos from that somber day, as well as more recent ones where she and her 3 boys spent some time at a creek near their home. Jill wrote, "6 months without you, baby girl. How could it already be that long? A jog to the creek, a breakfast picnic, and a toe dip in the cool creek water seem needful today. I'm wearing a little extra pink today for you." The pain of losing a child is unimaginable, and Jill's words show how deeply she and Derek continue to feel the loss of Isla. But in the midst of such a heavy day, Jill received a sweet and thoughtful surprise from her younger sister, Ginger Duggar. Despite the miles between them, Ginger knew just what her sister needed. The two sisters, both having walked away from the strict teachings of Bill Gothard, have grown closer over the years, especially as they've navigated their individual paths. Ginger sent Jill a little something to lift her spirits, and Jill made sure to share it on her Instagram story, thanking Ginger for her kind gesture. It's a beautiful reminder of how much family support can mean during times of grief, especially when that family understands your struggles on a deeper level. This shared experience of loss is something Jill and Ginger can unfortunately relate to. Jana Duggar also suffered the heartbreaking loss of her daughter, Annabelle, at 20 weeks gestation. These 3 sisters have experienced tragedies that others in their family may not fully grasp, but their bond through faith, family, and shared heartbreak keeps them united. As Jill and Derek continue to heal from the loss of Isla Marie, it's clear that she will always remain a part of their lives. Moments like this show us the importance of family and love in times of grief. Our thoughts are with Jill, Derek, and their family as they continue to navigate this journey of healing. Thanks for tuning into The Fame. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on the Duggar family and other reality stars. We'll see you in the next video.